Now we're up and running. Welcome to Chris Cup, ladies and gentlemen. Sunday night, man. You can't get any more fun than this. It's ESPN in the house. Chris Cup on the track. iRacing's a platform. My name is Byron Rodney. I got my cohort, Kevin Conyu, up here in the booth with me. We're going to be bringing you coverage tonight from the Irish Hills of Michigan. 100 laps at Michigan. Qualifying going on the track. And guys out there picking them up, putting them down. So far, Christopher Blanchard, number 10 machine, holding down the top spot. Christopher Lawrence and Christopher Ritchie. And you notice a theme going through this? I see nothing but Chris's all over the place. Kevin, how you doing, my friend? Yeah, I'm good. I'm looking at graphics up on the screen there, and I see cars out on the track. So everything's going good. We can't complain one bit. Got qualifying rolling around out there. Taking a look let's see if we can grab who's on the track right now. I got to push a button on my end. Focusing in on the number 31 machine at Christopher Williams. Looks like he has already picked him up, put him down. Nope, he's going around. Hot lap happening. Right now, he's holding down the 8th position. And yeah, his hot lap was over. Christopher Jonathan Leach, the number 48 Chris machine. He's out there on a hot lap, holding down P3 right now. Impressive qualification run for the 48. Chris Leach, he's one of our cohorts here at ESPN. And I'm looking through the lineup here. I see another cohort holding down the 12th spot, and that's Mr. Chris Frank Marchese. And don't look now, but that 48 machine just shot itself to the top of the scoring pylon. 2.5 minutes left in qualifying, and we're going to be bringing you 100 laps of Michigan International Speedway. Beautiful day by the looks of the weather out here. Next car I see out on track. I see Christopher Ryan Jones just coming across the start-finish line. 2 Mile Oval here in Michigan. Its sister track is California. Auto Club Speedway, but Michigan's a lot smoother. And I noticed, Kevin, that they ran the Legacy track. They didn't go for the brand new Michigan track. They ran the old Michigan track here tonight.
Yeah, noticing that.
Guys out there taking their qualifying laps. Looks like we got 4 non-takers so far. 18 cars set to take the grid tonight. And we're catching something coming off your microphone there, Kevin.
Oh, what does it sound right there?
Big time squeals on your microphone.
Is that better?
It is like your microphone just took a dump on us. The Cylons have attacked, ladies and gentlemen. Earth to Kevin. I think we've lost Kevin's mic. Man, your microphone's still giving us all sorts of static, Kevin. Well, he's got her muted there, so we're not going to worry about that. But qualifying has come to an end. Cars are going to be taking the grid. I wish I could call you out the starting lineup, but guess what, ladies and gentlemen? My timing and scoring doesn't pick up till we get across the start-finish line. I'm sure Kevin's got them going across the screen. We've had technical difficulties before. We can work through them again. It's what we do. It's the age of the internet, and things happen on the internet. I don't need to tell you any more what happened on the internet. Just take a look at what happened in the U.S. government if you want to see what the internet could spark. We're not even going to go over that one. Cars are gridding up right now. But I can tell you right now, the front row is going to be held down by the 48 and the 24. Boy, isn't that a kind of a too sweet little bit of numbers? A Hendricks, kind of a Hendrick Motorsports theme happening on that front row right there with the 48 and 24. Jonathan Leach and Christopher Ryan Jones. They're going to be leading this field all the way around to the green flag, where we're going to take 100 laps around here in Michigan. Starting grid, I see it going up on the screen. See, you know what? Kevin's microphone may be taking a little bit of a bump on him right now, but you know what? He's still with me. He knows where we're at. He'll hear what I'm talking. I'll pick up the call of the race. He can follow me right along. Ford Mustang pace car has started to lead the field off, and just as we do that, I see the 48 of Jonathan Leach had a connection issue. He's going to have to get up there and get up next to Chris Ryan. I think we started calling this the Christang Pace Cup, or Pace Car. Bragging rights on the line for the manufacturers up here. We're in Michigan. Ford, Chevrolet, Toyota. Well, Toyota based out of California, but Ford and Chevrolet, they fight back and forth for the bragging rights. Mustang Pace Car has them in tow. Taking a look at the track, we're going to go 2 miles around this track, 4 turns, big D-shaped oval, 75% fuel load going on here tonight. So I'm probably going to be looking for about 35 laps of green flag racing before these guys are going to be wanting to come in, get another set of tires, and get a tank of Go Fast. Speaking of tires, unlimited sets of tires tonight, so they don't have to worry about tire strategy. Ford Mustang Pace Car takes that hard left turn into pit lane. 48 Jonathan Leach, he's got him in command. He's just waiting for that green flag. Green flag comes out. Number 48, he hits a loud pedal. He says, "See you, boys. I'm out of here. Catch me if you can." But don't look now. There is an angry pack of Hornets right on his back bumper as Christopher Reese in... Ryan Jones in the 24 to his outside. We see some cars having some internet issues out there. A little bit of throughputing going on. Don't need to be seeing that because you get a car kind of disappear and reappear inside your lap. It's not a good thing. I love the Chris Cup guys. Look at these paint jobs going on. We are underway here in the Irish Hills of Michigan. .48 in command, Jonathan Leach. He's still got him in tow, but don't look now. Ryan Jones is falling back to third, holding that outside line as Christopher Blanchard down there challenging Ryan on that low side. Got to wonder how long those tires are going to hold that low side as they wear down, as they get a little bit dicey coming off that corner. Almost tapped the doors. Discretion being the better part of valor right there. Ryan Jones backing out of it just a little bit. Gives up that spot to Chris Otto. Chris Otto rolling at 88 in third position. Ryan Jones in fourth. Rounding out your top five would be Williams. And don't look now, but there's a whole gaggle of guys right behind fifth place. Michigan International Speedway. I love this track. Big, wide turns. There are so many lanes and so many multiple grooves that you could run out here. You could run the low side, the short way around. You could run the high side, the fast way around, the tire-saving groove. You could run the middle. There are so many ways you want to go. As take a look at the number 25 and the number 1. Look at almost take it, almost taking it 3 wide right there. That's Chris Williams, Chris Lawrence, and Chris Tate. Chris Blanchard, he's taking the lead away from Leach. Starting to step it out a little bit. Guys are starting to get a little dicey right behind them. They're trying to sort out what they've got, where they've got it. You can see the multiple lines being run as we go 3 wide for 4th, 5th, and 6th position. That's working right now in the early stages of a run. Whoa, big move by the 25. Aggressive by Christopher Tate. Takes it 3 wide at the start and finish line. He's down low, digging, looking for more. These guys can run these 3 wide lanes and get these aggressive moves. They're trying to get all the real estate they can early, because when those tires start to wear out on them, you're not going to be able to do that kind of running that close, that 3 wide, or those aggressive moves, because you're going to be hunting for traction. iRacing updated that tire model a little bit, and it does, the track now does affect it. Where they're running in the groove on the track, if you had a thermal gun, you could see that groove would be a little warmer than where the cars aren't running. And you'll see these guys start to move around on the track looking for traction. A little further back, we got Christopher Lawrence in the number 9 being challenged by the 31, Chris Williams. Door to door, hustling it off into turn 1 there. No, I've been turn 4. As they cross the start-finish line, now they're going to be hustling it off to turn 1. My compadre in the booth tonight, Kevin Conyu, he's got control of the cameras, so taking a look back at the front of the field. Christopher Tate has now moved himself out front of Jonathan Leach. Chris Otto falling back a little bit. Technical difficulty on the microphone with Kevin Conyu. We'll be checking in with him every now and then, see if he's got that sorted out or if it's going to still give him a little trouble. But if it's going to give him a little trouble, you know what? It's going to give him a lot of trouble. And I got motor mouth enough for both of us, I guess. Working lap 8 of 100. This thing's starting to go away pretty quick. 1/10 of the way there, almost. Christopher Tate out front. Jonathan Leach second. Yep, and still microphone issues on the Kevin Conyu side. Probably going to take a reboot of a computer to do that, but we don't want to reboot the computer to do that. Then we'd lose this wonderful broadcast we got going on. So Motor Mouth Byron will be hanging in here with you. Ooh. What happened to the number 41 of Chris Corriveau? Well off the pace. Oh, I see what happened. He's already been to the pits. He took her pit side for a service. And if I'm checking on something here, sorry folks, this is Chris Cup. This is not an all-star race. This is a points race. We don't have any fast repairs. Something must have happened to the 41 to bring him in. Did not see what happened. We'll catch that later. Back up at the front of the field, Christopher Tate in control. Ryan Jones on his rear bumper, followed by Jonathan Leach and Chris Blanchard. These guys have been up at the front pretty much since the get-go on this thing. Kind of a bit of a 5-car breakaway. Then you get back to Chris Otto and Frank Marchese. Loving that paint job on the Chris Marchese machine. Kind of shades of Mark Martin out there with the Valvoline. Remember we were talking, man, when they were racing 2-3 wide and guys were making aggressive moves. If you take a notice now, the field has kind of straightened itself out into a conga line as these tires are getting starting to get worn in. as we're working lap 11 of 100. Hard to make moves on worn tires. We just saw a move be made by Ryan Jones for the lead. Getting the job done, getting around Christopher Tate in that 25 machine. Ryan Jones taking that late apex and just diving it in, diving that corner, got in underneath him and did what they call the infamous slide job to get that car out in front. But if you take a look at the 25 of Christopher Tate, he is no slouch. He saw how it was done. As you see him, there he goes, dives it in a little lower, but Ryan Jones slams that door shut a little bit. And here it comes, tries to make that move down low, get that momentum. Christopher Tate down to the low side, Ryan Jones to the high side. Just not enough momentum to get him up next to it, to try to force him up higher in the corner to get around. As these four take it around, coming up to be 5 guys now, taking it around. Hustling it off down the backstretch, just looking for more. Taking a look back in the field, Christopher Williams, number 1, number 88 machine, side by side, first side by side battle. We've seen another one coming off of the pits, coming out of the pits. That would be a 31 machine of Christopher Williams. Strategy playing in. You haven't seen any cautions in here, so you know this is probably going to turn into a fuel mileage race. Guys are short pitting it already, looking for the times. Because if I'm looking at the times right, keep my eyes on the lead pack here, Ryan Jones and Christopher Tate. I'm looking at the times right. When they got out there and they ran that first lap, they fired it off. 38.7 seconds is what they were hauling the mail at. Right now, they're doing 40.1 seconds. That is almost a 2-second give up in the first 15 laps of this race on time. Now, you take a look at those two guys that went into the pits, waiting on the 31 of Chris Williams come around and take, take a little bit further back. Saw the 71 of Christopher Landy getting it sideways coming off of turn 2. Gets it collected. Doesn't hit anything, but fresh underwear to the 71 pit, please. Fresh underwear to the 71 pit. Beautiful paint job on that 71. The Chris Buy car. Not the Best Buy, the Chris Buy. But going back to the 31 of Christopher Williams, we saw him in the pits 3 laps ago, and he is putting down times of about a second faster a lap than the guys that are still out there in the lead, like Christopher Jones and Christopher Tate. Fresh tires are worth something here. They're worth faster times, but the fall off, they're working 16 laps right now, and they've fallen off a good second and a half. Now 38.4, 39.4, 40.5, almost 2-second fall off between the start of the race and right now. Further back in the field, get around there around Marchese, Otto, and Williams. We've got ourselves a bit of a battle going on. Couple of lanes looking at Marchese. Actually, that was the 31 of Lawrence, was it? That was Christopher Williams. He's gotten around them, but he's on those fresher tires. These guys are trying to do that side-by-side dance back here with taking a look at Christopher Ritchie and Christopher Blanchard, trying to do that side-by-side dance. Not quite wanting to do it with older tires. You see the 35 getting a little loose coming on the turn exit on turn 2. The rubber going away just a little bit. Got to be wondering when these guys are going to want to be bringing it in for fresh rubber as we're approaching we're working lap 18 of 100. This is going by quick. We are a fifth of the way there. I've said it before, when we talk about Chris Cup, we talk about some talented drivers back here, behind these wheels. I have yet to see a caution come out on this track, and I'm knocking on wood right there, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, that was my head. That we're not going to see a caution come out. I'm not going to give them the broadcaster's curse. It's happened before. It's happened again. Taking a look at the 31 of Christopher Williams. Look at him diving in down low below Christopher Lawrence and Jonathan Leach. Look what the difference of those tires are making. He is picking them up, putting them down, turning laps damn near a second and a half faster than the rest of the field. But the rest of the field's got to come in and get tires. He's going to be out there in older tires, and they're going to start overhauling him again. So you're seeing him out there working that strategy, doing everything he can to put as much real estate between him and everyone else on that track as he can. Taking a look right now, here comes the 31 of Christopher Williams. He is getting his lap back to what we call the hard way. He works his way around the leaders. The leaders give him that bottom lane. Fresh tires on that bottom lane are going to go rocket right by him. Ryan Jones and Chris Jones and Chris Tate, your front runners, get the 31 overhauling him back, getting a lap back the hard way. My scoring shows him 3 laps down now. As the battle between Tate and Jones is heating up. First and second are out there slugging it out. Move Tate to the point, move Jones to the second. Lawrence and Leach bringing up third and fourth. And don't look now, but Chris Frank Marchese at number 6 has moved himself up into the 5th position, rounding out your top 5. Got Chris Blanchard all over his rear deck. Quickly closing into a quarter way through this race tonight. Just starting to wonder when the leaders are going to start to flinch and come in for green flag pit stop. Now let's talk about pit stops here at Michigan. Pit lane, nice wide entry, nice wide pit lane, but you got to get it rolled down to pit lane speed. And pit lane speed here, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm looking, 55 miles an hour pit lane speed. You're out here hauling the mail darn near 180, 200 miles an hour. You get up close to 200 going down that backstretch, you're hauling it into the corner. Like right now, taking a look at the leader, Jonathan Tate, rolls across the line, doing 185 miles an hour over the start-finish line. He's got to get it into that pit stall, but he's got to get it rolled down to 55 miles an hour and not speed getting to his pit. He's got to get lined up in his pit perfectly so they can get the fuel in it, they can get the tires on it, and he's got to get out of that pit at 55 miles an hour until he crosses the pit line to where he can get back on the throttle. If he does anything wrong in that process, he's going to get a penalty, and it's going to cost him a lot of track position in doing that. Take a look back in the field. We got some battles going on. I got Blanchard, Richie, and James. Look at Chris Papa making her too wide, dialing up that low lane, almost getting into the back of Blanchard. And don't look now. Here comes the 35 of Richie. He wants to join the dance. Chris James is up in there. Guys making a little bit of a late race charge, trying to get to the front. They know pit stops are going to be coming. Pit stops are going to be coming soon. Sorry about that. Forgot to push my... Hear me? Now you know that. That's just my button, so when I cough and I forgot to do that. And I apologizes. I have too much fun doing this, don't you think? Working lap 26 of 100, man. We are a little more than quarter of the way there. And they're getting this race done here at Michigan quick, fast, and in a hurry. Christopher Tate's opened up a bit of a lead, almost half a second lead over Chris Brian Jones. Jonathan Leach, he's another second, a little over a second back of second place Jones. Then you got to go another half second back to find Chris Lawrence. And we got to go 2 seconds back to find Marchese. These guys are working lap 27, and they have not seen pit lane yet. So I'm wondering how long it's going to be before we see wholesale pit stops happening under green flag conditions. Guys are pretty much spread out. A little bit of a side-by-side battle going on with Blanchard and Reese right now for 10th and 11th position. But that's towards the back of this pack. You got your leader, Christopher Tate, rolling out there in the first. And by the time you get to the back of that pack, they've got it stretched out 17 seconds. From front to back, out here at Michigan International Speedway. Wondering when the leaders are going to flinch heading for pit road. Coming up on 30 laps. If they can make 33 laps, then they can go to the next run and be at 66, and then the next run maybe stretch her out, make this a two-stop race. But I'll guarantee you, if the caution flag flies, which is a great equalizer, you can have all the strategy into the planet that you want. If you don't, you can have, hey, I'm going to run this much fuel, I'm going to take these tires, just these right sides, I'm going to do this, and it's going to be good, it's going to work out. And then that caution comes out, and all that strategy you spent all week working up just got wadded up, tore up, and tossed out the damn window. So far, everyone holding on strategy. We see Chris Blanchard, number 10 machine, just exiting pit road. He made his pit stop. But he's the first one of the guys on the lead lap to flinch. Now I'm just wondering when Tate, Jones, and Leach are going to make their run, along with Lawrence. Marchese holding down that fifth position. Great run for the number 6 machine. Looks like the times have evened out, running 40.2 to 40.7 second laps ever since they hit 15 laps on those tires, so that's evened on out. They're just looking for the bottom of the fuel tank right now. Strategy playing in, 32 laps into this thing, have yet to see the greater majority come to pit lane. Only 3 cars that came into the pits, 2 of them awful early, 1 of them just a couple laps ago. Leaders out happy to ride as far as they can. Half a second separating first and second. Then you got to go back another almost 2.5 seconds back to third place with Jonathan Leach. But Christopher L. Lawrence right on his tail. Kind of like these guys are working the draft of the super speedway. Well, just as I say that, Lawrence goes ahead and makes the move for the low side, trying to take that position away from Leach. Does he have it? Yes, he does. Move him to the point, move Leach back to fourth, move Lawrence up to third, see if Lawrence can cut into those leaders any bit more, as we are 1/3 of the way there. So now, if you're going to do a 2-stop race, you're going to do it from here. Guys are starting to flinch. That's Chris Ryan Jones in the 24 hitting pit lane. Following him in, Chris Bass. We've got Otto coming in. So wholesale green flag stops. Looks like 33, 34 laps is going to be the most you're going to get under green here. 35 being the most. I look for the rest of the field with Chris Tate and everyone else coming into the pits with this next time around. Just as I'm saying that, here comes Tate. He is on the binders, down low on the track, heading it into pit lane. Judging by the guys that are in pit lane, I'm seeing stops of about 14 seconds. So in this car, 14-second stop, well, let me tell you about that. That's 4 tires and a full tank of Go Fast. Chris James holding it up there, getting a point for leading the lap. He's going to go one more lap further than the rest of these guys are, as everyone has hit pit lane but the number 2 of Chris James, and that puts him up in the front. Leach is in the pits. Lawrence is in the pits. Richie's in the pits. Reese is in the pits. Green flag pit stops taking place. This race is just going by quick, too. Chris James, last of the cars at number 2, bringing it in pit side. So we have had wholesale pit stops happening here, ladies and gentlemen. 4 fresh Dr. Feelgoods and a full tank of fuel. And right now, until my timing and scoring gets a little updated, but right now, as it's showing it, I have got the 24 of Chris Ryan Jones out in front of the whole kit and caboodle, and out in front of the whole bunch by a good little bit. Looks to have about 3, almost 4-second lead on your second place, Christopher Tate. Or Chris James. Nope, Chris James just exiting pit lane. Chris James holding it out there as long as he did. Don't know if he picked up anything. He brought her in from the first spot. Looks like he's going to cycle back in around 10th or 11th. He's got to get it up on the back straight and get her up to speed. Yeah, it looks like he's going to cycle her back into 10th. But taking a look at the front of the field, here's how it worked out. Chris Ryan Jones, the 24, has got the lead. Christopher Tate, he is 3.5 seconds back behind him in second place. The big mover on that exchange, Christopher Bass, in that 97. Where did he come from? Because he is now up to third place. Jonathan Leach is in fourth, followed by Blanchard rounding out your top 5. And don't look now, but Marchese is all over his rear bumper trying to take that top 5 away, moving back to 6th. There we go. We see Frank Marchese make that move to the inside. Going to dial up the low lane into the corner going into turn 3. I think he's going to get the job done. We're fixing to find out and see. Yep. Sends it in there real low. Slides it up way far across the nose. Move Marchese up to 5th. Blanchard back to 6th. So we pretty much just ran a full fuel run right there, and we see everyone pretty much just hold and serve. Jones out front, Tate second, Bass. Closest battle I can see on the track right now. I'm going to take a look at Chris Papa and Chris Jones and Chris Williams, number 1 in the 33 and the 13 machine. Close little battle going on there. But don't look now. Chris Ritchie making that move under Blanchard, taking that spot away. We get a little bit of more side-by-side racing. Things do tend to get stretched out here in Michigan. Ritchie making his way around Blanchard. Chris Otto right in the middle of all of that, showing to be a lap down. Remember that 3.5 second lead we had at the front for Chris Ryan Jones? Well, don't look now, but Chris Tate, he's back there just putting those laps, putting in the work, getting faster laps. He's cut that 3.5 seconds down to 1.5 seconds. And I'd give it about, maybe 3 or 4 more laps if this keeps up, that we're going to be looking at a battle for the lead. 3 seconds back to Chris Bass, and then another almost second back to the 48 of Leach. Don't look now. Marchese's worked his way up to the back of Leach, and we're going to see us a little bit of a battle for that 4th position. Leach has it. Marchese wants it. Who's going to get away with it after the next lap or two? We're about to find out. Just amazes me how smooth these guys are running these cars around this track. Haven't really seen a big bobble yet. Just a couple of guys getting loose coming off of the exit of turn 2, maybe. But other than that, clean and green is the only way to go. Marchese's found the back bumper of Leach. Makes that move down to the inside, heading down the backstretch, looking for that drag race, heading into turn 3. Marchese is going to dial up the low lane. Looks like he's going to be able to get the job done on Leach. Slides it up across the front. That's what we call the slide job, as Marchese takes that 4th position away and sets his sight on the back of Chris Bass in that 97. Jones in that 24. Looks like Chris Tate has worked his butt off and got within 1/2 second of him. Give it about 3 more laps and we're going to be having a battle for the lead. Marchese dialing up the low lane, going off across the start-finish line. Don't know what happened to that number 6 Valvoline machine of Marchese, but all of a sudden it has just decided to come to life. Move him up to the 3rd position. 4.5 seconds back from 2nd. He has got a little bit of work to do. Bass not wanting to let him go too much, but Bass is going to have to quit paying attention to the windshield and take a look in his rearview mirror, because he's got Jonathan Leach breathing down his neck. Leach does not want to let these two get too far away from him. As Marchese's starting to leg it out a little bit, Leach has got the back end of Bass. Got to wonder if Bass didn't wear some of the goodie off of them tires. Back to the front of the field, that gap on the lead starting to get a little bit smaller as Tate's starting to track down Jones. But catching him is one thing. Getting around him, we've said it a million times here in ESPN, is something completely different. Getting him around, getting around him is something totally tougher to do. We can catch you, but all of a sudden, you watch. That 24 car is all of a sudden going to look like it's about 30 feet wide when Tate gets up there and tries to get around him. But Tate's doing a darn good job. He's shaving tenths every lap. He's a tenth and a half quicker. Just rolling into tire tracks with Ryan Jones. He knows this race is almost shoot. Ladies and gentlemen, we're almost halfway there. Taking a look at third, Marchese has legged it out a little bit. He's got a full half second over Chris Bass, who's stabilized that gap back to Leach of about 0.3 of a second. Don't look now. Christopher Lawrence is picking him up, putting him down, doing everything he can to get up there and join that fray. But I'm going back to the front because right now we're almost ready for a lead change if this can happen. 25 of Christopher Tate has caught Ryan Jones. And are they going to get into a heated battle for that position? Or are they just going to ride? Is Tate going to sit there and just watch, see what happens, wait for Jones to make a mistake and then capitalize on it? Or is he going to push the issue and try to force a mistake? He is right there running in the tire tracks, letting them know, hey, buddy, I'm here. Notice how Ryan Jones has changed his line just a little bit. He sees where Tate wants to run, and he's being awful smart, just taking that lane away from him. Making it hard. He says, you know what, if you're going to pass me, that's fine, but you're going to have to get around me in the lane that I'm going to leave to you, not the one that you're wanting. Tate looks for the high side, doesn't get it. Jones slams the door. Tate moves down low. Jones slams the door again. Ooh, Tate decides to get her in there. He's got a side-by-side race hustling off to turn one. We may see a change for the lead. Can Tate hold that momentum down on that low line, that low with 17 laps on those tires? We're fixing to find out. As these two hustle it down the back straight side-by-side, we got a drag race going on for the lead. Tate keeping that low line dialed up, and Jones hanging tough on the outside with that high side momentum. Side-by-side racing at its best. The more these two race side-by-side, the more Frank Casey's going to be able to cut into that lead of theirs. You can see how much that high side carries that speed, and that low side being a short way around. Tate may have heated up the tires. He's backed off a little bit, backed off 0.3 of a second. He said, okay, let me regroup and try this again. Meanwhile, folks, while that battle was happening, the cross flags flew a couple of laps ago. We are just past halfway here in Michigan. Got to wonder how hard Tate ruined on those tires trying to get around him on that low side. He's giving up a little bit more time. That was great driving, great defensive driving by the 24 of Ryan Jones. What you saw was a perfect, hey, if you want to get around me, fine, get around me. I'm not going to stop you, but you're going to go in the lane that I'm letting you go in. I'm going to go in this lane. We're going to see maybe about 13 more laps of green flag racing before we see pit stops happen again. Everyone pretty much holding serve. I'm not seeing too much position change going out on the field. I will say C.J. Jones in that 33 in the Chris Spice machine, he has moved himself up a little bit. Him and Chris Williams are throwing haymakers. Chris Williams all over the rear bumper trying to find a way around. But bringing my attention back to the front of the field, here goes Tate again on Jones. Tate still trying to get her done on that low side, just not getting the grip to get her done. Tate's got to be wondering, man, geez, how wide is that car? Tate not giving it up. He's still holding serve right back there. Meanwhile, these two battle. It's allowing Frank Marchese just to inch in just a little closer. What was 4.5 seconds is now down to 3.5. As we see Tate make that move down low one more time. Heading for the start-finish line. Drag race to the checker. That lap led by Ryan Jones, but Tate dialing up way down low, sends it. Looks like he's going to have the room for the slide job. Drifts it on up. Give Tate the top spot. Jones looked like he was going to go for the crossover. Here he goes. Crossover move. Jones heads it down low, headed into turn 3. Is Jones going to have the momentum to continue to do the slide job on him as they come across the start-finish line, hustling it off to turn 1? Jones is going to send it, just like we saw Tate do it the lap before. But no, Tate is holding serve on that outside lane, does not allow Jones to be able to get that slide up. Jones has to hold it low, and we have a side-by-side drag race heading down to turn 3. Give the advantage going into turn 3 to Jones. Just as I say that, Tate just holds serve right on his outside door. Great side-by-side racing is, Christopher Tate pushes it too hard, gets it up into the side, up into that outside wall, brushes it with this, with the door, gets it sideways down on the grass. Green flag stays out. Caution does not fly. What a heartbreak for the 25 machine of Tate. Tags that outside wall, trying to hold it down, just carrying too much momentum there. Finds himself all the way from contending for the first spot down to the 8th spot. But that lets Ryan Jones run away. But don't look now. Frank Marchese's cut that deficit of, that was once 4.5 seconds is down to almost 2.5. Tate's not wasting any time picking him up and putting him back down. He is in the 8th position, looking for more. Got to wonder how much damage that did to the 25 machine, getting up on that outside wall and then taking her four-wheeling through the infield. Caution did not come out. 40 laps left to go in this thing to decide it. We should be seeing green flag pit stops happen. Maybe 7 more laps. That's where strategy's going to start to play in. These guys make it 7 more laps, then get into the pit stall. That's going to be the money stop. They'll have the fuel and the tires to make it the rest of the way, unless the caution comes out, and then it's going to be a decision: do I want rubber? Do I need tires? And if the caution were to come out right now, well, of course they're going to come in for fuel, but then they're going to have to come in again. When would they do that? See what I mean about strategy? You can have all the strategy you want. Lined in, lined down, lined up, lined down, everywhere. Wad it up and chuck it out the window. That's why the guys in the top of the pit box there get paid the big bucks. The guy is called crew chief. Taking a look back for closest battles on the track, I got Jones and Williams in the number 1 and number 33 machine. These guys have been slugging it out right around the 10th, 11th spot. Williams has got in the number 1 has got the 10th spot. Jones in the 33 Chris Spice machine wants to get into the top 10. Hasn't got her there yet. Starting to see some cars blink for pit lane. The number 10 of Blanchard is in and out. 4 tires and a full tank of Go Fast. But will he be able to stretch that all the way out to the end of the race if he had to? Don't know. I think he's counting on a late race caution. Now we're just kind of riding her out to see how far we're going to go and when the leader's going to blink for pit lane. We know they can do 33 laps. Well, they get another, 1 or 2 in, and then they're good to, that's 33 to go for the race. We're working lap 64 of 100 right now. Ryan Jones out front. Marchese holding down that second spot. Great job in the number 6 machine. Bass, 97 machine. Great run by him. I did not see him sneak his way on up in there. But he is all over the back of Marchese, and here we go. Looks like he's going to make that move, try to get around the inside of Marchese. Will he be able to? Don't know. Closest battle on the track right now. Keeping my eye on my timing and scoring, see when the leaders are going to flinch to hit the pit road. Got to be coming close because we are 34 laps to go on this thing. 33 and a half, I should say. And here you go. Ryan Jones, your leader. He's the first one to flinch, bringing her pit side from the lead position. Marchese passes by him. Jones passes by him. Okay, here comes Leach. Here comes Lawrence. These are the first 3 to flinch to hit into pit lane. We'll see if the rest of them come next time around. Ryan Jones pitting from that second pit stall. Right side tires going in, fuel going on, or right side tires going on, fuel going in. Left side tires going on. 4 tires and a full tank of Go Fast. Down and away in 14.1 seconds is your race leader, Ryan Jones. We'll have to see where he cycles out on pit stops. As Frank Marchese keeps her out on the track. Picks up a lap lead point. Pit strategies are happening right now, folks. 33 to go to the end of this thing. And we've run caution-free the whole night. Marchese bringing it pit side. Richie bringing it pit side. Tate bringing it pit side. Tate was a heartbreak, man. He was battling with Jones so long. Got up in that outside wall, got her squirrely. Went four-wheeling across the infield, but he did keep it straight. The caution did not come out. Right now, that's going to hand the lead over to Chris James, followed by CJ Mason. But they have yet to see pit lane. James brings it in. Mason hangs it out there, but he is be bringing it in as soon as he can. Probably next lap. He's out there 34 laps right now. Goes ahead and gets the point scored for lap led. And don't look now, but pit cycles are done. We're down to 30 laps to go in this thing. Ryan Jones in the 24 machine is out in front by 4.2 seconds over second place, Chris Bass. Marchese, don't know what happened to him in his pit stall. Must have got a speeding on pit entry. 54-second pit stop. Yep, that's a speeding penalty. He was up there in that second spot, but now has fallen all the way back to 11th. And if you go up to the 6th position, that number 25 of Christopher Tate, remember, he brushed that outside wall, worked his way back up to the 6th position now, but he's got a 9-second deficit to the leader, Ryan Jones, who's up by 4 seconds over Chris Bass in at 97. Man, what a night Chris Bass is having. He has worked his way up from off of my radar up to that second spot. Jonathan Leach right on his tail right now. We're going to see if Leach is going to be able to track him down and get around him. But, like I said earlier in the race, man, catching him one thing, passing him, whole other ball game. Looking back at those last pit stops, not only did Marchese get a penalty, it looks like Christopher Ritchie in the 35 had a penalty, as well as CJ Jones in the 33. Heartbreaks go all around for that, but we call it the money stop for a reason. You got to get into your pits on time. Like I said, 55-mile-an-hour speed limit here in Michigan. You got to get into that pit stall without speeding. You got to get in there and not miss your pit stall. Then you got to get out of your pit stall without speeding. Otherwise, you're going to get called in, on another lap for a stop-and-go penalty. But, pressure's on. Mistakes can be made. And whoever says, it's simulation racing. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're at our homes, we're at a computer. But it's simulation racing. It is no less mental taxing than the real thing. Take it from an avid iRacer myself, it can be a stressful thing to do. Ryan Jones holding down that 3-second lead. He's not really pushing it. He knows he's got a 3-second buffer on the second place Chris Bass. So he's not abusing those tires, saving what he's got for what he's going to need in about 25 laps. And that's everything that the car's got left, unless we see the caution come back out. Well, we haven't seen, what do you mean come back out? We haven't seen it come out yet. Don't look now, but that 25 machine of Christopher Tate has gotten around Chris James, Chris Lawrence, and Chris Blanchard. Worked his way up to the 4th spot. Remember what was a 9-second deficit at the end of the green flag pit stops? Is now down to 3.6 seconds from the, or 7.2 from the leader. He shaved 2 seconds off of the leader's time, and we've got 25 laps to go. Now he did 2 seconds in 7 laps. Call it 8 laps. Okay, he's got to make up another. So he's got to make up another 7.5. So he's got to go 8 more, 8 more. 8 more, 24. If he keeps the pace that he's running, and the leader, Ryan Jones, keeps the pace that he's running and doesn't pick it up anymore, guess what? By the closing laps of this thing, we're going to have a battle back for the lead as Christopher Tate is only 3 seconds off the back bumper of Jonathan Leach. You see Frank Marchese going around Jonathan Leach right now, but Frank Marchese 1 lap down due to that pit stop penalty. Driver of the number 6 can't be a happy camper. He knew he had a machine to contend tonight. Leach holds down that 3rd spot. But don't look now. Tate, I mean, he's munching on that time. Only 2.5 seconds back behind Leach now. And Chris Bass in the 97 machine is only 2.8 seconds back behind Chris Brian Jones, the leader. Coming down to a handful of laps left to go in this thing. Great race tonight from Michigan. Well, you know what? This is the Chris Cup. Every time I've been online with them and watched them, it's been a great race. And on top of that, I want to say how much of a fun race this is to call. Hey, Kevin, you ready to try a mic check again? Nope, ain't working. I just thought I'd try. Don't know why. We don't know. We'll have to get our electronics engineer, Peter the meter reader, out and try and fix some of these things we've got going on. Chris Brian Jones lead 2.8 seconds over Jonathan Bass. Jonathan Leach is second back behind him, but don't look now, man. Under 2 seconds behind Leach is the 25 of Tate. And I am calling it, man. Tate is, you know, the heartbreak he had going into that wall. Tate is out there driving like he's on a mission. He is hitting his marks, doing everything he can. And that number 2 of Chris James is right on his tail. Riding in his tire tracks, kind of giving him that drafting kind of thing happening. And you can draft at Michigan. It's a 2-mile track. It is big enough as we see the number 2 pushing on him. This is starting to turn into a interesting deal because remember when I said it was 7.5 seconds? Well, it's now 5.2 seconds from Chris Tate to the leader. And he's done it in less than 5 laps. So he is gaining time on your leader, Chris Brian Jones. You know, we always try to look for the story within the story, and I think that's our story within the story tonight. Christopher Tate putting on one hell of a show with Ryan Jones all through the mid stages of the race. Racing hard for that top spot, side by side, just carries a little too much momentum into turn 3, slaps that outside wall a little bit, you know, goes four-wheeling across the infield. To work through that, mentally get your shiznit back together and hold it, you know, hit your marks and put in the times that you're putting right now in the closing laps. 17 laps, 18 laps left to go in this race. Less than 5-second gap to the leader. He's chopped it down to less than a second to the car in front of him, which is Jonathan Michael Leach. Can't say enough about that run. Look at our leader, Chris Jones. He's just putting it around there. Yeah, he had a 4.5-second lead at the end of pit stalls or pit cycle, but it's down to 2.4 now between him and second place Chris Bass. And I don't. don't know. And the 48, great showing for the third place car. But I'm keeping my eyes on that 25 who is working ever so close to getting closer to Leach. If I had the Jaws music, I'd be playing it right now. Well, you know what I mean. Coming up on 15 to go. This race is blown by. Well, what did I say? Watch that 25. Worked his way up to the back of the 48. We're going to have a race for position here heading off. Coming up with 15 laps left to go. Christopher Tate's worked his way from the 10th position all the way back up to the 4th. Looking for third. And he's not that far behind, second to make a run of the front. There he goes, right next to Jonathan Leach, dives it on in. What did I tell you, folks? Oh! Leach comes down, slaps the 2 of Chris James, who has to lock him up, brings it into the pit stalls. Oh, what a save! Take a look at the replay on that with between the 48 and the 2. As 25 Tate gets by him, 48 comes off of the wall, comes down the track into the 2. Forces the 2 of Chris James into pit lane. Doesn't hit anything. I'm sure he got an unsafe. Whoop, and there it is, folks. Caution flies. Our first caution of the night. We're going to come back with a 10-lap run. Okay, here you go. Here's that big decision. Am I coming in for tires? Well, I've been out there for 22 on my tires. I know I can make it on fuel, but damn, I want some tires. Is there someone going to be a 2-tire hero? Are they going to take 2 to get that track position from further back? Because right now, you got Chris Ryan Jones in the lead. You got Chris Baston at 97 running second. And don't look now, but who's going to have the third position when we take that green flag before pit cycle starts? And that's the 25 of Chris Tate. Now you want to see about hitting your pit stall without getting that speeding penalty. Well, here they go. Jones is in, Bass is in, Tate is in, Lawrence is in. Going to be paying attention. Who's going to take 2? I got a feeling someone's going to try 2 tires. Right side goes on Jones. Jones ain't fooling around. Left side's going on Jones. Jones looks like he's going to make it out of the pit stall first. He's going to be followed out by Bass. And if I'm not mistaken, Tate's coming out right behind Bass. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, Jones, Bass, Tate. Jonathan Leach is coming out in 4th. The guy that had the heartbreak was the number 2 of Chris James. But we're going to be taking a green with probably about 9 laps left to go in this thing. First caution come out for the night. That is something. We ran, 80 plus laps without a caution. That is something. Pace car lights are off on the pace car. That means we're going to fire them off in anger next time we go around. Ryan Jones has got control of the field. Chris Baskin was outside elbow. 24 is going to elect that low lane for a restart. Chris Tayton at 25 right behind him. Strategy, was going to work out where, I think the only guy did not want to see a caution was 24. Lights are off as the pace car brings them around. Looking for that pace car to take that hard left turn into pit lane. We're going to re-rack him, stack him, and pack him and try this again. Haven't seen a green flag since the first green flag. We're about to see one now. Pace car takes that turn into left turn into pit lane. Ryan Jones in the 24 got control of the field. Holding them down. Green flag comes out, and you can hear it, ladies and gentlemen. All 18 of those guys put their foot on the loud pedal. That's when it makes all the noise when you step on it. 24, Ryan Jones tried to say, hey, see you boys, I'm out of here, catch me if you can, but all the boys said, huh? I am on your tail. We have got an angry pack, 3-4 wide, coming off of turn 2, heading it down to back straight. And don't look now, but Chris Bass in that 97 worked his way to the outside, got some momentum. Took the lead, but will he be leading when they cross that start-finish line? Heading off to the start-finish line right now. Looks like, there goes Jonathan Leach. Chris James led that lap. Leach got it all sideways, but the caution does not come out. See what happened with Leach. Looked like he just got really... net code. I'm going to say no more. Green flag stays out. We stay clean and green. 3-car breakaway up front for the lead. Chris Williams trying to make it a 4-car breakaway. Chris Williams is there. Ryan Jones on the inside. Chris Bass on the outside. Give that lap to Bass. 7 to go. Caution is out. We're going to re-rack them, stack them, pack them, and try it again. What happened on that restart? Jonathan Leach racing up in the pack on the outside of Chris Papa and then Chris Blanchard. Looks like net code. I mean, there had to be 3 or 4 feet in between those cars, and Jonathan Leach got turned. And that's a phenomenon we call net code. I can't call that a mistake on any one driver. There was room in between them. They were hard racing, and hate to see it happen. Your leader right now, Chris Bass, Ryan Jones is going to fire off second. Chris Tate in the 25 is not out of this by any long shot, by any shape, form, matter whatsoever. Man, that was a bit of a heartbreak for Jonathan Leach. But it will say it does give guys an opportunity to get a lap back and put some fresh tires on their car, such as the number 6 machine of Frank Marchese. But laps are running low. Ford Mustang pace car has them in tow as they pass pit entrance, heading around the tri-oval here. Crosses the start-finish line. Lights go off. Lap 96 goes up on the board. We will take green flag at lap 97 of 100. Chris Bass, just phenomenal performance tonight. Slowly but surely, how I missed that orange car off of my radar, getting, from wherever he came from up to that position, I don't know, but he has put on a masterful performance. Ryan Jones in the 24 has been there all night. Christopher Tate in the 25 machine had been there, had been out of there, and is back there tonight. We're going to take the green flag of lap 97. And we'll go to lap 98, to lap 99, to lap 100. 3 laps to settle it. 6 miles. When we get the green flag, we got 6 miles to decide who's going to win this thing. Flint Hills in Michigan. I'm getting kind of excited. Pace car is off. Chris Bass has got control of the field, holding him down, waiting on that green flag before he mashes the loud pedal. He is gone with the green flag waving. He says, "See you, boys, I'm out of here," and he does get a good jump. Moves up in front to block the advance of Ryan Jones. Moves her back down to help stop the advance of Ryan Tate. Chris Tate. As they start beating and banging up there in the front just a little bit. Chris Tate, Chris Jones, Chris Bass, Chris Williams. You picking up a theme here? I got some Chris's all over the place. 3 wide, heading it off across the start-finish line. Guys looking for jockeying and for position. Give this one to Chris Bass, then Ryan Jones. Remember all that respect you saw on the track earlier and all the space given? Yeah, it's gone away now. Don't look now, but a familiar sight. Chris Tate's got James all over his rear bumper like James was pushing on him. Like a little deal had been made, saying, "Hey man, push me up to the front, I'll help you out." But don't look now. Chris Williams in that number 1 machine. We saw him playing around the 10th spot earlier tonight. He is decided to say, I'm done with 10th. I want first. Gunning for that podium position as we are working lap 99 of 100. coming up to the white flag lap. Next time we cross the start-finish line, white flag in the air. As Chris Bass has got command of the field, Chris Williams all over his rear bumper trying to find a way around him. And Chris Tate is right there as well. And don't look now, but Chris Ryan Jones, top 4, throw a blanket over him. Oh, Chris Tate getting it tight again like he did before. Washes it up towards the wall. Across the start-finish line, white flag is in the air. Chris Bass in control of the field. Chris Williams looking for a way around him. Chris Bass is like, if you're going to get around me, dude, you're going to have to do it the hard way. I am running by the line. I'm not giving you an inch. Blocking going on. Chris Bass trying to take that bottom lane away, but Williams is there. Williams gets down beneath him. Will Williams, oh! Bass and Williams make contact. The leaders all collect each other going into the oval, and look who washes after that. Coming across to the checkered flag would be Christopher Tate in the 25. Oh my God! Chris James across the line in second. Christopher Ritchie bringing her home. What a quiet drive to get up there to the podium position in that 35 to Bass Chris car. Holy moly! What a finish! The leaders get all tangled, jockeying for position, trying not to let someone get a run. Everyone goes spinning. The whole lead pack gets taken out. And the one guy who had the heartbreak of the night, at 25 of Christopher Tate, brings her home across the finish line. What an amazing finish to the Chris Cup tonight. As they go to line them up, 1, 2, 3 at the start-finish line. Chris Tate taking his victory donuts right there. Oh my God! What a finish! You know what? I got to start talking to some guys. I am going to drag our third-place finisher tonight. Grabs himself a podium race. The 35 Tabasco's car of Christopher Ritchie. Dude, where were you all night? I seen you battling around 6th to 10th, and then off the radar, here you are all the way up at the podium, man. Tell me about that finish.
Well, earlier in the race, on that second green flag pit stop, I got a speeding penalty there, so it put me behind. But I just kept pushing, kept running. I knew I had a good car. I don't know if I necessarily felt I had a top 3. All that wreck happened, and I was able to drive through it. But this was a fun race. I really like Michigan.
Well, I got to tell you, man, my hat's off to you guys. You know, I watch a lot of the Chris Cup races ever since you guys came to ESPN. I've had the honor of calling your All-Star race. I had the honor of calling another race. This is my third race calling with you guys. And I am just amazed at the talent that I see on the track. We just ran 100 laps in Michigan with 1 caution.
This is hands down, for all the audience that was watching this race, this was the best race I think we put on. Now, they may not like the results there at the end, which I could understand that, but at the end of the day, this was a really, really good race.
Oh, my God. Was it ever, man. And I called your number a couple of times because you were getting some close battles in the back of the pack, but, man, welcome to the podium, my friend. That's got to be a good points night for you. What's your, gives you some confidence moving on. Where are we at next week?
Look to see at the calendar where we're going off to next week yet. I try to stay focused on 1 week at a time with that 2-week break. I got a little bit of practice in, and early in these runs, these guys were probably holding it down all the way around, and I was just trying to conserve tires. I felt like with Bass and James, I could run with them, and I was hoping long run I'd catch these other guys, but it just didn't seem like it. Seemed like everybody's tires would play out. So this was a lot of fun. You guys do a great job calling, and we really appreciate it.
Well, you know, we had a little bit of a technical difficulty with the microphone tonight, so you had me in the booth all by myself, but you know what? I got a big enough mouth that I could just keep on running and keep on talking, and you know, by watching the race that you guys put on gives me no lack of something to focus in on. You guys do one hell of a job, man. My hat is off to you. Anyone we want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Yeah, I want to thank all of our sponsors for allowing to put this race on, and Jones for running the league. I want to thank my wife and my kids for allowing me to be a part of it, and I'd like to thank my Savior, my Lord Jesus Christ.
Well, you know what? I'm going to say amen to that. I'm right there with you. Speaking of Jones, looking for Jones. I don't see him in the team speak here. Where'd he go?
I think he got a little agitated with he got a penalty as well, so he kind of felt like his race got ruined there.
Well, I was going to talk to our I'm looking for Chris James. Didn't see Chris James in here. I was going to talk to our second place finisher, but I don't see him.
I think he's talking on the iRacing chat after the race. I don't know why he's not in Discord though.
Oh well, you know what? That's it doesn't matter. You guys put on one hell of a show, man, and I just hats off to you. Looking to drag, and I just found him, and I'm bringing him in here with all of us. This is your race winner. This is the guy that we were watching earlier in the race. I'm going to tell you something. Mr. Richie, he was there in the race, all race long, racing with Jones, tries to make that side-by-side run on older tires on that second stint, gets up to the outside wall, slaps it, goes four-wheeling on the infield, comes back out on the track in 10th position, does not bring out a caution. Dude, we watched you making that run. I thought I was going to see maybe a last lap run, then the caution come out, and then the caution, or the big wreck at the end, and here you are. Congratulations on the win, man.
I appreciate it. It's definitely not the way I want to win a race. I do feel like I had the best, if not, or contending for the best car.
I'm going to tell you, you did have a car that contended for the best, because I looked at your times. You were tracking down the leaders when you came out of that last pit stop after the caution didn't come out for your wreck. You went into the pit, you came out in 8th, and you tracked down the leaders to 3rd place before caution come back out. You had a car that was running, man. Tell me about your race. Tell me about your car. Tell me about your feelings.
Overall, the car was it was great until I got on the long run, and I just wore off the right front and started getting real tight, which is kind of what caused the whole deal with Leach. I apologize to him and James for getting involved in that. I just kind of pushed tight, and I haven't went back and looked at it yet, but.
Yeah, we saw one thing with Jonathan Leach where he got taken down, but it wasn't Leach's fault. It wasn't Blanchard's fault. It was, from what I could see on the broadcast and what I could see on the replay, there was a good 2.5 feet in between those cars, and Netcode reared its ugly head again.
But all in all, the car was good all race. Feel bad for Bass. He deserved that win after the final restart. Jones, I feel bad for him also. He was great all race and unfortunately got taken out. But definitely not the way I want to win the race, but I'm happy to win it.
Well, you put on a hell of a performance, and like I said, I was telling your compadre a little earlier, I've had the honor of calling. This is my 3rd Chris Cup race that I've called for you guys. So, and it's not the 3rd one I've watched. I've watched many more. You guys really impressed me with the show you put out on the track. To run that far, that fast, and that respectful at Michigan, hats off to you guys, man. Anyone you want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
I appreciate that, and you guys for ESPN for putting on the broadcast, Marzo's Gears, Butt Kicker, Sim Nut Racing Sims, everyone that competes in this league, Chris Jones for putting it on, and that about does it.
All right, man. Well, congratulations on the top spot tonight. It was a hard-earned victory, and don't take anything away from yourself. You earned every little bit of it. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was your first-place finisher, Christopher Tate. Oh, my God. I don't know what to tell you, man. We had one heck of a race tonight. We ran so many laps in Michigan without a caution flag. I didn't even know. You know what? 100 laps, and I didn't even feel like I needed to go to the bathroom. That was one heck of a race. Kevin, I'd ask your opinion, but I know we're having microphone issues tonight, so I'm not going to go there. But you know what? I'm just totally impressed with what I've seen tonight. We saw one heck of a finish. The 25 of Christopher Tate, he earned every spot that he got, especially after slapping that outside wall, buckling down, running down the leaders. He was going to be there at the end regardless. Caution helped him out, and then a big wreck at the end really helped him out as they were racing hard. And congratulations to the 25 of Christopher Tate. And moving on, man, it's been fun. It's been real. My name is Byron Rodney. I've had a lot of fun bringing you Chris Cup coverage on a Sunday night. iRacing's a platform. ESPN is a network. And Byron Rodney is the name. We'll see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. You know how they say. Ladies and gentlemen, for ESPN and for Kevin Conyu, everyone have a great night. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.